Congressman Paul Gosar from Arizona joined us on the program. Congressman, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good, Cam. How about yourself?
Excellent. Big Scorpions fan. Did you ever subject your dental patients to the Scorpions?
Oh, every once in a while.
Yeah. As you'd whip out the drill, rock you like a hurricane comes on. Just...
Yeah, we don't get very many hurricanes, but we try to imitate that coming from our congressional delegation.
There you go. Now you were rather hurricane-like on the floor of the House yesterday, talking about the Attorney General Eric Holder. You say he is showing disregard for the rule of law, and you're going to highlight this.
I'm going to, Cam. One of the things that we are is a country of laws. And when you disregard the rule of law, you have an anarchy, and that's exactly what the Attorney General is having oversight of. We want America, the United States, to get back on track, but you have to do it by due diligence and adhering to those rules of law. And here's the chief law enforcement officer, the chief law purview to the president, and he has a total disregard for the rule of law, and it's inappropriate, and it's time to go.
You quote Justice Brandeis, in a government of laws, the existence of the government will be imperiled if it fails to observe the law scrupulously. If government becomes a lawbreaker, it breeds contempt for law. It invites every man to become a law unto itself. It invites, as you say, anarchy. When you look at the things, everything from Fast and Furious to Benghazi to the IRS scandals, which appear to be getting bigger by the day, to now the NSA surveillance scandals. I know that there was a very close vote in the House yesterday on a vote to curtail some of the NSA activities. And you look at the public approval ratings, frankly, of all branches of the government, Congressman. It seems to me that we have gotten to that point now. Americans don't trust their government.
Oh, they don't. It's exactly right. Even in my committee, Cam, it's hard to keep track of all the scandals that are going on. When you look at all the scandals that you brought forward, you didn't even bring forward the James Rosen case,
right?
Which highlights to me what's despicable about what's going on in bureaucracies when we have politically appointed appointees. And that is you either lied to Congress or you lied to a judge, but you lied. And if you and I did this, we would be thrown in jail, the key thrown away. And we have to have a common denominator of the application of law to everybody, not just to the ordinary man, not just to an ordinary citizen, but to every politician, every politically appointed position. You cannot be above the law, and that's why rectifying Congress, rectifying the bureaucracy, rectifying Washington, D.C. makes them accountable to law, and it starts with the Attorney General.
We were talking about this at the local level in Washington, D.C. yesterday with David Gregory, who violated Washington, D.C. gun law on national television by waving around a quote-unquote high-capacity magazine. And yet, the District of Columbia's Attorney General said, well, we're not going to charge him with violating the law, even though clearly he did. We in the gun community now refer to this as the Gregory exemption. And what you're talking about here is a government exemption that, if you are within the upper echelons or you're part of the protected class, that nothing seems to happen. Have you noticed this, Congressman, that, in all of these oversight committee hearings that you've attended, we get right up to the point of chief deputy and boy, the cabinet level people never seem to know anything about anything.
Yeah, I call it the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil group. And I mean, it's made of childhood lore. We need accountability, and I look at the American public. Why would they want us to pass anything if the rule of law is not going to be upheld? There's no trust. I've always said trust is a series of promises kept. Where is the trust inherently built? Because no promises are being kept.
So what do you tell the voters? What do you tell the American people who may start to feel discouraged and, pretty clearly a lot of them are fairly cynical right now about the political process?
I think it starts with Mr. Eric Holder. And that's why I've given him a focus point, is that when we defy the rule of law, we become victimized by the rule of law. And it starts with our chief law enforcement officer. He does not have the opportunity to pick and choose. Justice is a lady who's blindfolded. She does not know who she is giving justice to. She carries a set of scales that she weighs the information given to her, and then she carries a sword in her other hand to dispense of justice swiftly and effectively. What part of that is legislative? Trey Gowdy said that to the Attorney General, and it epitomizes exactly where we're at. This Attorney General thinks that he has the choice of legislating, when what his job is in the equilateral triangle is enforcing the rule of law. Leave it to the policymakers and legislative and the executive branch to start making the laws, but he is to uphold them. If he doesn't like them, then he should ask to get them changed. And what we've done is we've broken up the equal balance of the three branches, and that's what we need to reinstill, is getting those three branches back in order so that we have a balance. We have oversight, and we do our job, but we answer to the people and answer to the equal bodies of the government.
You know, as you talk about the failures of the Attorney General, I know that you've also talked about some who work in government who are, I think, undeniably heroes, Congressman, those firefighters who lost their lives in the Yarnell Hill fire. And I know that you've been also instrumental in helping some of the family members. Can you talk about what folks can do to help?
You absolutely, the biggest thing that you can do is make sure that you keep the families and the firefighters that lost their lives in your thoughts and prayers. That needs to be kept at foremost. But you can go to the 100club.org, which is a great group. It's overseen a lot of the efforts in regards to these 19 families that were destroyed by these firefighters losing their lives. And that email address or that address that you can go to is 100club, and it's just 100club.org. And it's very well spoken, very well done, very transparent, so that you know that every dollar you give is going directly to the firefighters, and they are a very good job. But I hope that everybody keeps in their thoughts and prayers. And then last but not least is that we have to have a new change in the way we take care of our natural resources, particularly our forest fighters. We need to envision those people risking their lives, putting them in positions where they can succeed. Don't do it into a fashion which are heavily fueled and where they're going to lose. We want to make sure that we empower people for success, not for loss. And so we have to have a new policy and encourage your folks in Congress to come to the table. No isn't an answer. You've got to come to the table with a solution so that we're actually putting people back to work, utilizing our natural wonders and our natural forests as a renewable source effectively, economically, and environmentally. But also putting them to work where they best are used, and those royalties go to our educational system. We're always for a dollar, so we got to have some common sense solution comes to the surface.
Listen, Congressman, always love talking to you, sir. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope we can do it again very soon.
Hey, always a pleasure, Cam. Thanks for all you guys do.
Thank you, sir. Congressman Paul Gosar joining us here on Cam and Company.